Hello, I'm Julia, one of the workshop leaders at Little Green Pig, and welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm here today to give you some inspiring tips for your writing. And the first writing challenge this week is called a string story. Don't know if you've ever heard of a string story before, but the idea is you take a piece of string and you lay it out on a flat surface and you let it take its natural shapes and curves and you let it lead you on a story. You've probably heard people ask, how long is a story meant to be? And people say, as long as a piece of string. Well, here's a way to make that really true. Your story will follow the shape, the curves, the twists, the turns of your piece of string, however it lies on the table. And to make it even more interesting, you can add some little objects and items along the way to your piece of string and see if you can weave those objects in as characters or plots or places in your story. Maybe you could go on a scavenger hunt and grab 10 objects and add them to your string story and just start writing and see where it takes you. Your story will be quite as long as your piece of string. This is my string story. This little mouse has just stepped outside of his front door, and right ahead of him is a path. Where will it lead him? To the beach. But on the beach he finds a mysterious pebble. It looks perhaps like another world. It takes him deep into a journey where he discovers an incredible gift, a magical present. But what is it? Climbing his way back out, he finds an extraordinary loop with a ball. Perhaps it's a game, a challenge, a competition he's got to win. He goes round and round and round, struggling with this, until finally he's victorious and is rewarded with his sweet, sweet victory. And the story finishes. Who knows how? This was my string story. Simply lay out a piece of string, add your objects, have a bit of a think and see where the story takes you. We also have, as your writing inspiration, an emotion of the week. And this week's emotion is sadness. Sometimes we think of sadness as being a bad thing, but it's just a normal part of life to feel sad. The idea this week is to really imagine if sadness was a person, an animal, a place, a colour, a texture, what would it be? Would it be soft grey wool? Would it be a spiky rock? Would it be a lonely beach? Really imagine what sadness would look like, how sadness would speak, and what kinds of things sadness would do. And see if you can create a story, or maybe draw a picture, really describing sadness. Perhaps you could do a 3D picture, a collage, making a sculpture even to describe the feeling of sadness. Let your imagination go wild and try not to feel too sad while you're doing it. The final writing inspiration this week is part of our larger project, Wild, Wild World. I love this project. It's very close to my own heart. Last week we started talking about what we could notice in the world around us. And this week we're inviting you to think about what you love about the world around you and what you don't like so much. Start local, maybe even your garden, your nearest patch of green, your local park. What do you love about it? Perhaps it's the birds, perhaps it's how the grass grows, perhaps it's the games that you can play there, the people that you meet there. Then step out a little further to your town, your city, the area in which you live. What do you love about how it is? Perhaps it's the roads, the buildings, Perhaps it's the weather, perhaps you live in a very sunny place. And then you can also think about what you don't like so much. Perhaps the traffic's really bad. Perhaps you see litter sometimes on the streets when you're out. And then you can expand it to the whole world. What do you love about our world? It could be the different continents, the oceans, all the amazing animals there are, the tropical places, the jungles and deserts. And also, what do you not like about it? Perhaps there are things that you think are wrong or aren't working as well as they should. Try to write a list of positive and negative for all of these sizes of area, the local, the regional and the global. And summarise your thoughts about what you love and dislike about our amazing wild, wild world. And when you've done your writing, please send it in to us. We'd love to read your stories, see your collages and hear your lists about the world. Send them to writing@littlegreenpig.org.uk. And remember that our next YouTube video will come out next Wednesday. We've got one writer who sent in her work from a couple of weeks ago. And this is by Susie. And it's called Anything Can Be Green. Anything can be green. Green, green crisps, crunchy and tasty. Green olives, sour and bitter. Green cucumber, juicy and yummy. Green icing, sweet, but not so neat. Anything can be green. Green parks, green grass. Anything can be green. Thank you, Susie. Do keep your writing coming in. Have a lovely week and we'll see you next Wednesday on YouTube. Be brave, have fun, be creative, take care.